Hello, everyone. This is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my season 1, episode 5 review of Peaky Blinders. So, in this episode, we meet the Shelby brothers' father, Tommy Sr. He's been gone for 10 years, so I believe that's how old Finn is, maybe 9. And I believe that their mother died either giving birth to Finn or not that long after Finn was born. So, basically, just by doing the math, the dad's been gone about as long as the mother's been dead. So that's crazy ridiculous, and really shows you how much of a deadbeat he is. In the beginning of the episode, when you see Arthur and John, bring him back to the house for a little bit of lunch, you're wondering why Aunt Pole and Tommy are so dismissive. Like, okay, they're dismissive because of 10 years, you have a lot of reasons to be kind of dismissive after 10 years. But you think he really, at this point, you think his words meant something in which he really changed or something. It seemed like John was John, the third child, he was kind of in the middle about it, while Aunt Pole and Tommy were completely not having it, while Arthur was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it turns out that he's basically the scumbag that both Aunt Pole and Tommy basically kind of, picture him as in the beginning of the show. As we see that Arthur gives him a great deal of money, in which Tommy says, basically, listen, I need this money for my hotel that I'm trying to get in the Americas. And basically, I manipulated and used you, thinking that I wanted to spend more time with my family and redeem myself in you guys' eyes, when that actually wasn't my plan. I make him up as I go, basically. So he's pretty much a manipulative a-hole. So that obviously breaks Arthur's heart, and I believe Arthur tried to kill himself, tried to hang himself, but it was an unsuccessful attempt. So also in this episode, we have Grace and Tommy finally get it on. Finally, after 5 hours of sexual, 5 hours. I mean, technically in terms of TV, it is 5 hours worth of story. But either way, in terms of like 5 episodes worth of sexual tension, they finally get it on. Finally. And it's kind of ironic in a way, because I'm trying to remember like when it happened, like what event like led to it. I'm trying to remember if it was like after the whole killing thing. Actually, let's get to the killing thing while we're at it. So basically, now as we all remember, around the 3rd episode, I believe, or the 2nd episode, something around that point, Grace killed one of the 2 IRA members who showed up to the bar, to the Shelby brothers bars, and returned to, like, basically, because we knew that Shelby had the guns, and someone spread, rumors spread that the Shelbys had the guns, so the IRA members wanted the guns, and Shelby, and Tommy, as we know, didn't tell them where it was at due to the deal with him and Campbell. So, as we remember, Grace killed one of those IRA members, 2 of them, that showed up to the bar in self-defense. So, that basically was like, it had such a great, like consequential effect on everything. Now, the IRA members are seeking blood. And one of those members was a cousin of that particular member that got killed and murdered by Grace in self-defense. So, basically, he speaks with Tommy, and he basically threatens Tommy, saying, listen, that was my cousin, that was my blood, and he knew people, and I'm one of the people he knew, and plus, you know how big our organization is, and compared to our organization, your little gang is nothing. And if you don't give us those guns, which we know you have, we're going to just destroy y'all. We're going to destroy everybody. So Tommy's like, okay, listen, we'll sell you the guns for a price. All right, so we always know Tommy's always thinking. So Tommy has no intention of selling the guns. So as we know with Campbell, he tells Campbell basically about how him and how they should work together, basically to take those guys out. So what happens in actuality is that Tommy and Grace, I believe, they kill the guys. Now, I'm trying to remember if Tommy shot the other guy or if Grace shot the guy. I'm trying to remember, but I do know for sure that Tommy killed the other guy, and it was a hell of a fight. Tommy was getting choked out, and he was able to fight a little dirty, him and his balls, and then he just went to town on this dude with something, like some type of metal pot, and just destroyed his face. Like that scene kind of reminded me of like Ragnar when he just went to town on King Horik's face like in the season finale of Viking season 2, when the face was just barely recognizable at all. So what happened with that was the police came, and you could tell that Tommy was very shell shocked about the entire thing. You know, like, and I was kind of surprised, in all honesty, because Tommy's been so like you see him in the past, like since at least from season 1 up to this point, he's very calm, cool, and collected. But it seems like the last couple episodes, he's been losing that calmness, that coolness to him, especially after the killing of that IRA member. I remember the sergeant for the police, you know, the one that kind of threatened and blackmailed him about Ada and her baby and Freddie Thorne, so on and so forth. He kind of said, well, listen, they weren't nothing anyways. We'll just cover this up. They're just a member of the IRA. Screw 'em. You know? So I believe after that, that's when Tommy and Grace made love to each other. Because I think that was the moment that truly bonded them together. Because Grace saved his life. And he saved hers. So, yeah. So, after that, we have this interesting scene, I believe, in which Grace tells Chief Campbell that basically she wants out. She's done with this, and that she doesn't want to be, you know, like I mentioned before, she's done with this, and that she'll tell him where the guns are if he promises not to hurt Tommy and his family, basically. So I believe they agree, but that's a bunch of BS, because he fully intends to hurt Tommy, you know, if he can. So it's because of her that Tommy doesn't get arrested / killed by Campbell and the police. She saves him literally at the right time, right when Campbell and his men are making their way through the bar. So I believe that once the bartender, who's almost shot by Campbell, Chief Campbell actually, mentions the fact that Tommy left with the maid, he realizes, you know, that, you know, in a way, he can't really do anything, because we all know that he clearly cares about Grace. And it seems as though he cares more about her as more like as a potential partner than a daughter, from what I see. You know, I could be wrong, but actually no, I'm not wrong. Hell no. Especially once near the end of the episode, in which he actually proposes to her, and I believe she rejects his proposal. So she's clearly in love with Tommy at this point. No game, no BS, no manipulation. You know, they're actually being honest with each other. It's not a game of, well, she's as honest as she can be without exposing her secret. But you get what I'm saying. So, besides that, you guys, I really think that's it. Oh, yeah. The last thing I remember from this episode is that he actually tells her that on the black date. I forgot which on which exact date is supposed to be happening, but he did tell Grace that on Black Day, he put in her schedule, that's when he will make his move on the Kimber clan, or the Kimber, you know what I'm saying, and will destroy them, or at least take out Kimber, and then become the top guy in their business, basically. So that's mainly everything that happened so far, I believe. If I'm missing anything, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure I got everything in the episode. If I missed anything, it was not essential. I think I got the major points down, hopefully. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice one, and adios.